No sweet old grandmas or grandpas here. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 evil old villains from movies and TV. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're focusing on some of the most terribly evil old folks to have ever graced the big and small screens. When we say old, we mean relatively not young by their species standards, and they must actually look visibly aged. Number 10. Immortan Joe, Mad Max Fury Road. He's the most powerful of the warlords that rule the post-apocalyptic wastelands. As leader of the War Boys and lord of a settlement called the Citadel, Joe holds a monopoly on the region's fresh water and encourages citizens to worship him as a god to survive.
I am your redeemer!
An old and diseased but powerful man, Joe keeps a harem of wives locked within a mountain vault, hoping they'll produce him a suitable heir. When his wives are freed by Furiosa, Joe and his war boys embark on a ruthless hunt across the desert to recover his so-called property. And believe it or not, Joe's age barely slows him down.
They're going back to the Citadel! They know it's undefended!
Number 9. Mom, Futurama.
Listen, you little bastard. I control the robot oil business and I won't let you ruin me.
This unpleasant progenitor is the CEO of the robot-creating industrial conglomerate MomCorp. As one of the wealthiest and most recognizable faces on Earth, Mom maintains her public image as a sweet, friendly grandmother figure concerned with goodwill and charity. Behind the scenes, however, she's malevolent, foul-mouthed, and downright nasty, often using criminal methods to accumulate profits and resorting to physical abuse to force her sons to do her bidding.
But they're kings, Mommy.
Jam a bastard in it, you crap! Ow!
She's also suspected of employing ruthless business tactics to eliminate rival companies and prevent their products from reaching the market. Hey, when you've been around as long as her, you pick up a few evil tricks.
And when I say killer app, I mean killer app.
Number 8. John Kramer, also known as Jigsaw, the Saw franchise.
I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose.
Better known as the Jigsaw Killer, John Kramer is a former civil engineer diagnosed with terminal colon cancer and an inoperable brain tumor. After surviving a terrible car crash, Kramer realizes that only in the face of imminent death is one truly able to appreciate life. He thus becomes the Jigsaw Killer, deciding to spend the rest of his numbered days testing other people's wills to survive to provide them with that same appreciation for life.
Those who don't appreciate life do not deserve life.
As Jigsaw, Kramer engages in multiple acts of kidnapping and imprisonment, and employs death traps while intimidating victims with his famous doll, Billy the Puppet. Old or not, John Kramer is one seriously scary serial killer.
Game over.
Number 7. Yzma, the Emperor's New Groove.
This is Yzma, the Emperor's advisor.
Don't let that Disney logo fool you. Yzma is a malicious and repulsive old woman whose goal in life is to usurp the throne. A diabolical and highly intelligent alchemist with years and years of experience, she was once Emperor Kuzco's chief advisor, but was fired for governing behind his back. Driven by vengeance and a frightening lust for power, Yzma decides to kill the Emperor, choosing poison as her weapon.
A few drops in his drink, then I'll propose a toast.
But her plans prove so convoluted they fail, and confuse her lovable but dim-witted henchman Kronk.
A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
Despite her shortcomings and her advanced age, Yzma never loses her nastiness, eccentricity, or her drive to seize the throne.
Take him out of town and finish the job.
Number 6. President Snow, the Hunger Games franchise.
So you like an underdog?
Everyone likes an underdog.
I don't.
President Coriolanus Snow is the ruthless dictator of the post-apocalyptic country of Panem. That means he has full control of the government and military, and works behind the scenes of the annual Hunger Games, a televised pageant in which boys and girls are forced to fight to the death to maintain a balance of hope and fear within Panem's 12 districts.
Happy Hunger Games! And may the odds be ever in your favor.
A horrible despot, Snow shows no reluctance in using violence and intimidation to keep the districts in line, and on more than one occasion seems willing to harm innocent children and raze entire cities to the ground. Old age hasn't mellowed this tyrant one bit. Number 5. Mr. Burns, The Simpsons. The prototypical elderly villain, C. Montgomery Burns is Springfield, USA's richest and possibly most evil citizen. Owner of the local nuclear power plant and a constant thorn in the side of pretty much everyone in town. Mr. Burns is the kind of guy who'll block out the sun to make a buck, legalize gambling even if half the citizens get hooked, pollute the local watering hole even if it means the fish have 3 eyes, and make an item of clothing out of pretty much anything that breathes. You'll notice his advanced age not only in the way he looks, but also by his very dated references. But as far as geezer villains go, Monty Burns is excellent.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
Number 4. Palpatine, the Star Wars franchise.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
Called many names throughout his long life, Palpatine seems relatively harmless when he's just a galactic senator from Naboo. It's slowly revealed, however, that he's, in fact, the Dark Lord of the Sith, who uses his deep knowledge of the Force to wipe out nearly all the Jedi and manipulate Anakin Skywalker into becoming the villainous Darth Vader.
In time, you will learn to trust your feelings. Then you will be invincible.
The mastermind behind the infamous Order 66, the Emperor also trains numerous Sith Lords and is both directly and indirectly responsible for death and destruction across the galaxy. Sure, his aged visage may be the result of Force lightning and not necessarily the ravages of time, but Palpatine's still one old and experienced bad guy. Number 3. Tywin Lannister, Game of Thrones.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
Head of House Lannister and patriarch of the Lannister clan, Tywin turned his house into the wealthiest and most formidable in all of Westeros. A massively respected and feared military genius, Tywin is a powerful and ruthless man who successfully served as Hand of the King for multiple Westerosi monarchs, including his own grandson.
I am the king! I will punish you.
What's more, this Lion of Lannister was also the mastermind behind Walder and House Frey's infamous Red Wedding, which brought an end to the War of 5 Kings and led to the deaths of the noble Robb and Catelyn Stark. This military mind only seemed to get better with age.
You're hereby sentenced to death.
Number 2. Saruman, the Lord of the Rings franchise.
I gave you the chance of aiding me willingly, but you have elected the way of pain!
Perhaps none in Middle-earth was deemed wiser than the wizard Saruman, the ancient chief of the White Council that once opposed the Dark Lord Sauron. Over time, however, his extensive studies of dark magic led him to desire the One Ring for himself. He betrayed the White Council to ally with Sauron in hopes of one day stealing the precious.
Together, my Lord Sauron, we shall rule this Middle-earth.
Becoming increasingly corrupted as years passed, Saruman tried to convince others to join him on Sauron's side, ultimately wishing to destroy the world of men. With manipulation, magic, and an army of Uruk-hai as his main weapons, Saruman eventually lived to be 2,019 years old, by far the oldest evildoer on our list.
You're all going to die.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'm afraid you are both about to become the victims of stray bullets.
No need to hand me a line. I see what's going on here.
You do?
Sure, running away from boys, getting laughed at by your peers.
Any last words, Fredrickson? Come on, spit it out!
Number 1, Magneto, the X-Men franchise.
The war is still coming, Charles, and I intend to fight it.
A master of magnetism and leader of the Brotherhood of Mutants, the man once known as Eric Lenscher was just a boy during the Holocaust when he witnessed humans committing atrocities against mutants. Because of this, Magneto believes that humankind and mutant kind cannot live alongside each other as equals, and maintains an aggressive and often harmful approach to achieving civil rights for all mutants, in contrast to his once friend and future nemesis Charles Xavier.
You should have killed me when you had the chance!
As time goes on, Magneto's disdain for ordinary humans only increases, and he becomes more obsessed with his goal of mutant domination. Disregarding the value of life, Magneto's methods only become more and more ruthless the older he gets.
Charles always wanted to build bridges.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.